So this wolf shirt here represents everything that is wrong with the human heart. Let us unpack what Paul said about our former life. Andy, the Wolves fan, is futile in his thinking, darkened in his understanding, separated from the life of God, full of ignorance, hard of heart. He's lost all sensitivity, and he's full of greed. Now, Paul says that when you were in Christ, you were told to put off the old self and to put on the new self. Remember, did you get a clap earlier when you said you supported Wolves? I don't think you did. Okay, that's significant. Okay, great. So, Andy, I would like you to put off the old self and put on the new self. Although, what is important here is Paul doesn't just say, get rid of the old self, put on the new self. He says you've also got to be transformed in your mind. You see, the last thing Paul wants is a Wolves fan in an Arsenal shirt who still has the mind of a Wolves fan. Or rather, the mind of a Wolves fan. That just won't do anyone any good. It'll bring my team into disrepute with his loutish ways and his aggressive rebellion. So, you need to be transformed in the renewing of your mind. So I would suggest that Andy should go away. He should perhaps take a stadium tour of the Emirates Stadium. He should maybe look up the classic goals from our history on YouTube. Admittedly, they are historical. We haven't had any recently. But there we go. It's not all good being an Arsenal fan. But you should really immerse yourself, Andy, into the history such that your mind and your heart is changed. And then you are worthy to put on the shirt. Let's assume he's done that. Okay, he's had some kind of football lobotomy. He's now an Arsenal fan. Please exchange shirts, Andy. I don't care. That is not an appropriate use of the Arsenal. Great. If you could burn that now. You put it back on the table. That's great. It's fine.
Full respect for utility.
Okay, great. Andy, I'm going to do this again in the afternoon. It's going to get worse for you. Okay, Andy, you have now not only exchanged old shirt for new shirt, you've had your brain rewired. Would you now chant how much you love Arsenal?
I really love it. This is your last ever sermon in Christchurch.
I think I've just been allocated all yours, actually. Great, okay, so Andy has had a complete change, not only on the outside, but also on the inside. And Paul, in verse 24, now describes this new state as being like God in true righteousness and holiness.